Hola amigos, this is Vidi with Vallarta Live. In this video, I'm going to explain to you guys everything you guys need to know, weather, COVID updates, events, and much more for the month of August. So let's get right to it. If you guys are new here, each and every month I make these videos where I explain thoroughly what you guys can expect on the weather, on any events, any other special things that I need to announce for the month of that I'm talking about. In this case, we're going to start talking about August. August has a lot of info that I need to share with you guys. I'm going to try to make it very brief. So let's start by talking about the weather. So August is still part of the rainy season here in Puerto Vallarta. Rainy season is from June to about mid-October. I have a full video talking about the rainy season that you guys can watch here, okay? Now, August. So August and September, I'm not going to get too much into detail with September, but August and September are, I would say, the intense rainy months here in Puerto Vallarta. So far, it's been super, super hot. I mean, usually July, August, September are hot months here. It's the summer. But lately, I feel like it's been like so much hotter than normal. Every time this time of the year come, I don't do very well in the heat. I don't like it. I get in a bad mood. I get rashes, all that stuff, and it's not great. Why am I still here in the summer? I don't know. That's what I always ask my husband, why are we here? Anyways, so right now it's actually 88 degrees Fahrenheit. It is about 2 p.m., but it is humid, and I feel like it feels hotter than what it usually states. Lately it's been around 90, 95. That's usually how much the temperature will be in August, 90, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. There's so many things to mention about the weather. I had to like write a big old long list. So like I said, August is gonna be a rainy month. A lot of people always ask me, it looks like it's gonna rain every single day, all day. Is my vacation ruined? Should I cancel? Should I rebook to another day? It's very funny here, and this is why I wanted to make this video outside, because this is how it usually looks even during the rainy season. It's hot and bright. Actually, this morning was a little overcast, and I was like, this is a great time to make a video because it's not super bright. And then all of a sudden I decided to make this video, and the sun just came out of nowhere, and it was super bright. I was actually going to record over there. You guys can see my little table. It was way too hot there, so I'm like in the shade now, and I'm wearing my hat. So during the day, it's sunny and hot. You're still going to be able to enjoy your activities. You want to go swimming, you want to go to the beach, you want to do tours. It's going to be good. Sometimes, like I said, in the morning, it'll look a little overcast or a little cloudy, and you might think, oh, it's going to rain, but it's very rare for it to rain during the day. During the rainy season, it usually rains in the evening, nighttime, okay? What happens in August is that in August and September, you can expect it to rain every single day at nighttime, okay? If you guys are planning to do activities at night, you know, go out and have fun, you do have to keep in mind that you are probably gonna get rained on. Okay, another thing is the thunderstorms. There's a lot of thunderstorms in August. Loud like thunder and lightning. I mean, it's kind of cool. I like thunderstorms and I like to see lightning. Actually, I wanted to record like a video, like leave my camera out and record the whole lightning show because it looks really cool. Maybe soon. We'll see what happens. There's also flooding. It will flood in some areas, okay? For example, in the romantic zone area, in the downtown area, all those areas, the streets will get flooded pretty quickly. The water runs down from the mountain really fast, and then the streets get flooded. Obviously, the whole water is like going down through the rivers, and it all flows down to the ocean. So, I mean, I wouldn't be super concerned about like flooding, like oh my God, my car is gonna get flooded type of deal. No, I'm talking about the street gets like a little high. So if you're walking and then you get caught in the rain, and then you have to cross streets, you know, that's when it gets a little, you know, your shoes are gonna get wet. I would say bring rain boots, those like small ones if you have some, like ankle boots. But it is hot here, so it's funny because I brought some like big long hunter boots a long time ago when I first moved here, because in Houston it does rain all the time, and they come in handy. But here it is just so hot, and people, I've worn them sometimes. People look at me weird. They're like, what are you doing? I mean, the locals here, they just take off their shoes and then they just cross. You know, if they're wearing like sandals or flip-flops, they just take them off. Obviously, I do not recommend that because we don't know what's in the water. We don't know if there's glass or something. So the best thing is just to wear sandals that are waterproof, I guess, or shoes that you don't care if they're gonna get wet, or the little ankle boots if you're coming in August or September. Also, the rain, when it like falls really heavily, it will only last about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. It's very rare for it to like rain for long periods of time. So the water will be high, it will be, you know, you'll see the streets flood a little, but then once it stops, it will rush down to the ocean, and it will quickly, the water level will quickly go down on the streets. Okay, since this is the rainy season, it's also the hurricane and tropical storm season. So far we haven't really had any hurricanes. We've had a few tropical storms kind of pass by, but not really super close. They've just brought a few showers, but it could happen that in August and September, you know, there can be some hurricanes or some tropical storms that pass by. Another thing to note about the rainy season, since it's already been raining since June, it's already been raining in July, and there's already a lot of water, the land is saturated, etc., etc. This causes landslides. But August and September are the worst months for landslides. And this affects mainly the areas that are alongside the mountain, like the south of PV, actually where I live. So like starting like Conchas Chinas and then going all the way to like Juntas y Los Veranos, there is like some crazy landslides sometimes. And then on the other side, I would say like going towards Punta de Mita, there's some parts where if you're going alongside the road and the mountain is right next to you, there can be landslides. I mean, if you're just staying in town, you know, in the downtown romantic zone area, marina area, or in general in the town of Puerto Vallarta, you won't really see like landslides. This is only affects if you're driving or if you're like staying on this side of town. It can get a little dangerous. In our case, you know, we do have to travel that whole drive, the main highway that goes south to Barra de Navidad. That's what it's called, or Mismaloya Road. It can get a little tricky when you're driving there, or if you're taking a taxi or a bus. There can be landslides, and it's a little dangerous. So usually what happens is that we try to do our stuff or activities, you know, our errands during the day, and then at nighttime we just chill and we stay put at our house because it can get real scary. Like we've seen like huge rocks fall on the road, and when there's landslides, they'll quickly come and clear it out. Okay, they are like, in Mexico, they sometimes take forever for certain things. But landslides here, especially in Puerto Vallarta, they are quick to clear them up, okay, as quickly as they can. I'm fanning myself, I'm getting real hot. But I think last week is when we already had a very intense thunderstorm. And I got to experience a few things, and I was like, I need to write them down because I had forgotten about these things. And I always get reminded whenever it's this time period. There is blackouts whenever there's thunderstorms. So actually last week there was a big thunderstorm, and we got caught in the rain while we were driving back home. And actually we were passing by, and a transformer exploded, or you know, popped or whatever, and all the lights went out, you know, in that area. So since there's a lot of lightning and there's a lot of thunder, a lot of times there'll be blackouts in all parts of this bay, you know, from the south side, from downtown, you know, like in certain areas. I just saw one of our restaurants that we like to go to in the romantic zone. They said that they had lost power there like 2 days ago because of the thunderstorm, and we didn't lose power. So it just depends, you know. Some areas will lose power, some won't. That also means you will lose internet. I know some of you guys say that you need internet, you're working here. This is probably not the best time to come to Vallarta because you just don't know. And sometimes the blackout will last only a few minutes, and sometimes it will last like hours. I don't want to scare you guys, but I feel like I need to let you guys know about all this stuff, okay? One time And this only happened whenever there was a hurricane. Was it last year, the hurricane that hit? I think, yeah, it was last year. The hurricane hit and we lost power for, I think, 2 days, okay? And it is hot here. So we had no AC and it was very, very difficult to like sleep at night. You're like sweaty and all our food went bad. Hoping that that does not happen again. Obviously that was a hurricane, but whenever it's just normal thunderstorms, you can get blackouts, like I said, and it will last hours. Usually the big resorts, if you're staying at a big resort, they will have, you know, a generator. I mean, RVs that we rent out, we have generators. It's a little funny because sometimes, you know, you think you're prepared and you're ready, you know, for the rainy season. I mean, I think we sometimes are ready in our houses and our Airbnbs that we have, and I feel like the businesses do. But then sometimes whenever the rain comes, it's kind of like, oh, all of a sudden it's leaking, the roof is leaking. You know, you just start like seeing all the little problems that you have. So I don't know in that situation what happened with that big old resort. It was like a very good resort, and one of you guys said that you lost power for a few hours and that it was very uncomfortable because it was very hot. So I just don't want to scare you guys, but it is something that might happen. I hope we don't, but yeah, blackouts. Okay, another thing about the rain, and I think that's a given, is all the bugs that come with the rain. Mosquitoes, frogs, what else? A bunch of other like little bugs that like are annoying. There's actually these little, they call them sand fleas, and they're like way smaller. Sometimes you can't even see them, they're so tiny. And those are way worse than the mosquitoes. They'll bite you like a mosquito, but it will itch like heck. Okay, some people get bit more. I get bit a lot by mosquitoes. I feel like I don't get bit by those little sand fleas as much. My husband gets beat up like crazy, and he scratches and scratches, and the bad thing is that the more that you scratch, the more it itches, and it actually makes you bleed. So if you experience that, that's what's happening. Another thing about the rain, so whenever there's like a crazy rain, I'm talking about a crazy thunderstorm at night, it rains for a few hours or whatever, when that happens, you'll see a lot of areas where the water looks really, really brown and yucky. That's what happened, okay? It's not like this all the time. Sometimes if this is your first time to come to Vallarta and you just came and then there was like a big old storm and then you see the water like brown, you're like, oh, Vallarta has horrible water, but it's not always like that. It's just during the rainy season and in some areas. So this usually happens like towards the Nayarit side, like in the Nuevo Vallarta area resorts, because there's a big river there that like gets thrown, the water gets thrown out into the ocean. It also covers some area of the marina, like the resorts around the marina area. Around the Muertos Pier, Muertos Beach area, there's a little river that like also flows there. Also in the hotel zone area, there's a river. I'm like saying so many things. Usually I recommend you guys to just stay south of PV, because the beaches in general there are way nicer, and we don't really have big rivers that like get thrown in that area, so the water is always like really clear around there. Another like town that's real famous is Yelapa. Yelapa has a big river that the other day we were trying to go over there with my friends, and when we got there the water was all brown and ugly, and we just left. Okay, so it's just very random. And like I said, usually whenever there's a big thunderstorm, the next day you can expect it to look super brown in those areas. If it's already been a few days and it hasn't really rained, or it's only rained like a little bit, then the water starts to clear out again. Okay, I think that covers the whole weather situation. I know it took forever, right, to cover all that. I think that's about it. Now to talk about COVID cases, actually last month I mentioned that it was pretty chill, that I didn't really know anybody who had COVID, which was very true. However, I feel like there's such an outbreak like everywhere in general. And actually me and my husband got COVID like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we just had COVID 2 weeks ago, and at the same time like a bunch of our friends and other people that we know had COVID, that some of my friends that are here that I hadn't even seen like in a long time had COVID, and other people like back in Texas and other places that around the world that I know had COVID. So I feel like it was just like a COVID outbreak all of a sudden. It was nothing serious, thank God. And unfortunately, we had a big group of friends that were here, 20 people, and like all of them, almost all of them got COVID. Right now, masks are not, really required here anymore, and I feel like they're not really required in a lot of places. So just keep that in mind. You're gonna come here. I really hope you don't get sick. Other than that, I don't know of any events happening in August. Also didn't mention August and September are the low season here. So I know like some restaurants will close during these months, but I haven't really heard of any or like seen signs. Sometimes they'll put signs like, oh, well, we're gonna be closed from, August and September or something like that. But it is slow season, so you do get better deals on hotels and everything. I have seen like that there's way more people here than there usually is during this time of the year. So I don't know how slow the season is really gonna be in August and September, but we'll have to see. Oh, another thing I did want to let you guys know is that since there has been more people than normal, I feel like visitors here, a lot of the tours have been selling out. So my friends wanted to go do an activity like at the last minute, and sometimes we'll be able to like get it booked for like the next day or something, and like everything was like sold out. The pirate ship was sold out. The Galetas trip was sold out. Going to the chocolate museum and doing chocolate was sold out. So if you guys are coming, make sure with time you go and book these tours. All those things that I mentioned, you guys can actually book them online. Vallarta Adventures has its own website. Canopy River has its own website. The pirate ship also has its own website where you guys can go, and they always have like specials going on, so you guys can get a deal. But yeah, book them with time. Somebody said that the Rhythm of the Night show was sold out to like I think September, which is crazy to me that all these things would be so sold out. But yeah, that's what is happening here. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button because I make these videos every single month. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.